Petersfield JV baseball action. MSJ taking on Mount Anthony, and it's MSJ in the field defensively with the green uniforms on, and MAU getting the first runner on the first pitch on a hit batter. That was Ethan Burdick, the center fielder, who was hit by the pitch, and I should try to catch up. This looks like it's going to happen fast today. John Bizon is the pitcher out there. Steve Kalin is the catcher. It's an MSJ battery for you. First base is Chris Reedy. Eric Ladebush is second. Nolan Rhodes is short. And Dominic Champagne is at third. This will bring up Owen Ionati, the shortstop. So Ionati, and you see the runner go down to second base, take the turn, and the ball finally picked up by Kalin, and bobbed back into play. So not a very good start here for MSJ. Hit batter, and then that wild pitch, ball got away, runner down at second base, nobody down. And like I said, I brought you other JV games this year, and one of the biggest things about JV that we've seen is if they put the ball in play, they have a good chance of making the out. That's going to be a base hit through the hole. See if they send a runner, he's going to take the corner and hold up. The throw will come in, be cut off at the pitcher's position by Bizon. Let's say if they can eliminate walks and errors, they are a bad-looking team, MSJ, but they off to a rocky start here with a hit batter and a single. Now the pitcher from MAU, Will Cole, coming up. And again, he's coming up with the table set nicely here, first and third, and I'm sure that will change here in a second. They'll send the runner on a steal from first to second, even though Reedy holding him on. There goes the runner. The pitch called a strike, and they will not throw down. You can see the runner down there uncontested. So two runners in scoring position. Brad Sawyer, the on-deck hitter. This is the JV baseball action on Munger Vision on PEGTV. And that's on the infield. Whoops, I was watching Reedy and it was caught by the pitcher. I apologize for that. Chris faked me out. The first baseman looked like he had a beat on the ball, and it was actually the pitcher that made the catch for the out. That's the first out, and even bigger than that, the runners could not score. They couldn't move up on that. Now Sawyer up, the left fielder, Brad Sawyer. When Bizon's around the plate, when he's in the strike zone, he's pretty lethal out there. Like that, that's a nice pitch. Big guy, lanky guy, comes from that three-quarter, almost sidearm, and hard to pick up the pitch, the ball from him. And it's just a matter of getting consistent control. That's a little nubber, and he'll go to first base, get the out, and the run will cross the plate. They'll go to third base, and nice stop over there at third base. And that's the kind of thing that could have been a disaster right there. They really weren't going to get the runner at third, and that could have gone out of play, which will have allowed Ionati to go home. So two down, one run in, and now Torrin Granger, the catcher, up. I think that was the correct play, too, all the way along by Bizon, was to get the out at first base. And if he can get out of this, second and third with nobody down, with just the one run coming in, he would have done an excellent job. And that could be it. It's going to go down to Ladebush. He'll throw to first. It's going to be 1-0 MAU JV over MSJ JV at the end of a half inning of play from St. Peter's Field. You're looking at MAU starting pitcher Will Cole. Torrin Granger will be his catcher. That's the battery. And we're going to be having Mike Serino, the center fielder for MSJ, leading off here with the Mounties JV squad down that one run. Nice job, actually, by Bizon, the pitcher, and his fielders behind him that first inning to limit MAU to just the one run. Cole will fire in there and be a little bit low for a ball. Now, Cole told me, I talked to him before the game, that he throws the fastball, changeup, and a knuckleball. So fastball, changeup you'd expect. The knuckleball is a little wrinkle, and there's a strike, 1-1 to count. Scheduled for 7, there is a mercy rule. Hopefully that won't come into play. And have a good competitive ball game. Beautiful St. Peter's Field on a sunny day. There is a breeze blowing. It is a hitter's breeze. That's going to be in the hole at short. It's a slow grounder, and they'll never get him. It just took forever to get out to the shortstop, and he kind of ran around behind the ball. That'll allow the base runner to be safe at first base. So Mike Serino, will have an infield single. And Serino with a lot of speed. Dominic Champagne up now, and see if MSJ will try to emulate what MAU did when they had base runners. They sent them immediately on stolen base attempts, and from the stretch, we will watch the pitch come in from Cole. Runner stayed at first base. He's being held on defensively down there by Sam Creedy. Ryan Koonsman's down at the second base position. Owen Iannotti is the shortstop. David Breen is at third base. And I'll set the outfield for MAU for you in just 1 second. We'll let the pitch come in from Cole. That's a strike. The throw down, and he's going to be safe. It'll deflect off his glove, and Sereno is going to go into third base, and that's what aggressive base running and speed will do for you. So that it was a stolen base, and then an error on that play, and Sereno ends up at third base with nobody down. And that's good news for MSJ. They can get a run here on a slow ground ball, a base hit, deep enough pop fly, a wild pitch pass ball. Lots of assortments here to put the other combination to get the run in. And that's going to be to Cole. And yeah, there was just no way he was going to be able to throw Champagne out. So a little excuse me nubber, and he'll have an infield hit. And that was a smart play by the pitcher, Cole, also. Will Cole. He didn't try to make a spectacular play that there was no chance to get the runner out and, throw wildly to first and have it go out of play and have the run score. He just ate the ball. Nolan Rhodes up. He's batting in that number 3 spot, the big shortstop for MSJ. Good pitch right there, and there goes the runner. And, yep, looks just like what MAU did. I like that. I like aggressive base running. Now put Champagne down at second base. Sereno at third, nobody down. And MSJ looking for the tie and the go-ahead run. And big swing on that changeup right there, and it went deflected off the face mask out of play, and that'll be a strike. See the umpire adjusting his protective headgear back there. Again, Jerry Munger, Munger Vision on PEGTV. JV baseball today. MAU, MSJ, a couple teams with a lot of initials. Wow. And he's coming. He's going to try to score on this play. They're going to throw, and he's going to be safe under the tag. So it's going to be a tie ball game on a wild pitch. Sereno will come in to score, and wisely, Champagne went down to third base. So Rhodes now with a chance to give MSJ a lead if he can get Champagne in from third base. It looked like the catcher had set up on the outside corner, and then that pitch just stayed up and inside and got by him. And the runner with that good speed came home. And again, the wind is blowing from home base out to center field, so it will definitely favor the hitters if they can get the ball up in the air. And the sunshine will affect that left fielder, the third baseman and shortstop, as far as trying to find the ball in the sky and field it. That pitch a ball right there. On deck behind Rhodes is Chris Reedy, the first baseman for MSJ. From the set, the pitch, and he had him up the ladder and rung him up. He got the fastball elevated, and Rhodes couldn't lay off it, and that's going to be his first out of the game and a strikeout. And now Chris Reedy coming up. One down, runner at third base. 1-1 to score in the bottom of the first. And get all settled in. There's a reason Reedy hit it to that cleanup spot. He's got a lot of power. And boy, can he add that weight on that front foot on that changeup? Don't forget also that the young man in the mound, Will Cole, throws that knuckleball, and that's got the same speed as a changeup, if not a tad bit slower, but it's going to be tough. He wants to use those two pitches, the changeup and the knuckleball, to set up his fastball. He'll come to set, and there's the fastball. Yeah, that's a good. If you can get the command of those 3 pitches, that's a nice combination to keep the hitters off balance. So an 0-2 count on Reedy. 1 run in, and Champagne sitting down at third base. And that'll go to the backstop, and this time, see the difference in that and the last wild pitch? That one had a little more juice on it, hit that concrete retaining wall and came back to the catcher. The other one was such a floater and so slow that it just trickled to the concrete retaining wall and never came back to the catcher. And they did hold the runner, obviously, at third base. There, they make the call. That was a long developing foul ball, but it'll stay 0-2. Or 1-2, I'm sorry. They don't use the scoreboard for the JV guys. I think they should. They should treat it big time, just like the varsity level. Just makes it easier for the fans that are here to keep track of ball strike, scores, innings. And the pitch. That's up in the air. Will it stay in play? Oh, it falls between the catcher and the first baseman, who had a long run to get to it, but it'll go as just a foul ball strike. So we'll stay at 1-2 on Reedy. Good little battle here as he's making Cole throw quite a few pitches. I don't think I ever set the outfield for Mount Anthony. They have Brad Sawyer in left, Ethan Burdick is in center, and Zach Weinfurt is in right field. And I know I didn't get to the MSJ outfield, so I'll do that definitely. That's going to be the shortstop. He's going to come home. I'm not sure about that play, and he'll be safe. He would have been better off to get the out at first base. So the second run will come across the plate, and it becomes a fielder's choice for Reedy. And now Eric Ladebush up, the second baseman for MSJ. Yeah, it's so early in the ball game that you didn't need to cut down the runner at the plate. Plus, you weren't playing the infield in, and it was a long throw. There's a strike called as they'll nick that inside corner. Again, JV games have a tendency to run a tad long. So if you're watching a game, which if you're listening to me, you obviously are, get a beverage, get a snack, put the remote control down, and just kind of hang out and relax for the next... Well, the last JV game I did ran 1 hour and 56 minutes in tape. The game ran in 2.5 hours. That's a foul ball. So if you've got any errands to run or any chores to do, just kind of chill out and put them on the back burner and take in Munger Vision on PEGTV. And again, Channel 15's website, very easy to remember. It's www.pegtv.com. PEGTV. That's whipped foul down that first baseline. I'll tell you what, I usually get to a game early enough so I'm all set and can talk to the dugouts and the coaches and the players and get my lineup and camera set up and all that stuff. You know, I'm usually very punctual. I didn't think I was going to make it here today. This is a 4:30 start time. Scott, struck him out. That's your second strikeout, second out of the inning. Ladebush went down on that changeup. Now Steve Kalin up, the catcher. I left Jerry's Nissan at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and got here at 4 because Stratton Road was closed down in the city. And Stratton Road, in case people don't realize it, is the unofficial bypass of Rutland City. And you wouldn't believe traffic went from Rutland Town North to Rutland Town South all the way down Route 7. And all the side streets were closed off, and it was just a cluster mess and a half. And for people who don't think we need a bypass in this city, yeah, you better take a ride around my neighborhood and double think that mess. But my goodness, I didn't think, and I ended up taking the back country roads out in east left field to get here. Oh, nice pitch. So the pitcher, Will Cole, bidding to strike out all 3 outs this inning, but he has had a little problem as far as some wild pitches and some decisions made by the infield. And MSJ has a 2-1 lead, and he wants to know the count back there. And there, the umpire flashes it up to him. Big pitcher, got a lot of size to him. We're in the first. The Mounties up by 1, and that's going to be put into play to second base. It's going to be to first. We'll have a 2-1 game. MSJ with the lead going into the second inning on JV baseball action on Munger Vision. So in the top of the second, Bizon will be looking at Sam Creedy, David Breen, and Zach Weinfurt, the 6, 7, 8 hitter in the MAU lineup. They picked up a run in that first inning. And at the last second, the batter asked for time and was granted time by the home base umpire. Remember, the game started off on the very first pitch from Bizon. He hit the leadoff batter, Burdick, and he eventually came around to come home. Oh, and that's over the head of Sereno, and he'll get the ball back into play. It's going to be a double. So the first 2 innings of the ball game, MAU able to get their leadoff hitters on base. Creedy with a double, and then what happened there is Sereno said, I got it, and then he started to backpedal, and turn the jets on because it got up in that heavy breeze I've been talking about, blowing from home base out to center field, and the ball gave it a little extra, or the air gave it a little extra push to the ball, that is. So Breen up with nobody down and a runner in scoring position for MAU. Again, that pitch didn't snap off for Bizon, kind of like the pitch he hit the leadoff batter with Burdick. Very conservative leadoff second base for Creedy up MAU. He led the sitting off with a double. And a nice stop behind the plate by Kalen. I better do that MSJ outfield because I forgot to do it last time. Mike Serino is your center fielder. Tom Garbatelli's in left. And Ben Sexton is your left fielder. And Bizon and Kalen, that's the battery. And what Kalen's saying, he's got it. And that is a tough catch right there. Nice job by Steve. Kalen shows the umpire the ball. And again, the beauty of that is not only do you get the out, but the runner can't go anywhere. Now Zach Weinford up with one down, and the number 9 hitter Ryan Koonsman is on deck for MAU. They are at the plate in the blue uniforms. Mounties out in the field with their dark green jerseys on. And this is JV baseball action from St. Peter's Field on Munger Vision on PEGTV. And that's going to allow the runner. He didn't go. Wow. So Creedy not gambling on that at all. He stayed at second base. That'll be an obvious ball right there. And you have Chris Reedy at first base. Eric Laddebush is at second defensively. Nolan Rhodes is your shortstop. And Dominic Champagne, nice pitch, is at third base. Now see that pitch from that big righty? That starts right at the numbers of the hitter and then breaks over the plate. Kind of see the hitter hedge toward the outside. Yeah, and he got a strike there. He hasn't struck anybody out yet in the ball game. But again, if you take away that hit batter, you only faced 4 hitters in that first inning. Got him to go fishing and put it into play. That's a fair ball. Kalen will go to first and get the out. There's the tag. Yeah, nice job by Chris Reedy not panicking like I started to up here. But he got the out. Now, it's the important thing. That's 2 down now. The runner does go over to third base. But right here, what you really got to concentrate on is getting the guy out at the plate, because that would be the 3rd out and there'd be no damage done. American Legion baseball action post 31 starts June 19th. And they'll be right here at home at St. Peter's Field against Granville post 323 in a non-league game starting at 5:30. And of course, remember, you can follow Legion baseball action all summer long on Munger Vision on PEGTV. So it's good baseball, and it's for a good cause. It's the American Legion. And, you know, Munger Vision, Legion Ball, St. Peter's Field, it all goes with summer. All great pitch. Big swing, too. So Bizon trying to leave that runner at third base and hold that 2-1 MSJ lead. And there's time called again. And I'm not sure as to what, but the umpire, Mr. Manny, or there was a piece of equipment, I believe, in the playing area. So now everything's all set, everything's cool. We'll go back to work, and the pitch will come in, and just missed. Yeah. And again, this inning started off with a double by Creedy of MAU to center field. And I don't think they're going to be able to get that one. No, and it's going to be over the dugout toward the creek. So we'll just reset now, say with 2 strikes. And again, the JV guys on TV today, and they need some recognition. They got a good coach, good work ethic, a lot of practice. Great pitch, a strikeout, and that's going to be Bizon's first strikeout. That'll end the inning. That will strand the MAU runner at third, 2-1 the Mounties. And the first pitch from Will Cole will be a ball. And this is the pitcher, Bizon, up. His MSJ has that 2-1 lead in the bottom of the second. And the Mounties did a nice job of taking advantage of what MAU gave them in that first inning to get the lead. Ben Sexton's on deck, Tom Garbatelli to follow, and Mike Serino, top of the order, if MSJ can get that far. And I'll just go back through the MAU defense in just a second for you. And did he hold up? They're looking down, they're saying yes he did. So Bizon got teased on the pitch, but was able to hold up on it. Sereno and Champagne scoring the runs for MSJ as they had a couple infield hits. Ooh. Close pitch to take, but it did fade outside, and the catcher, Granger, did a nice job of trying to just slide that back in and frame the pitch for the umpire. Again, it's a hitter's breeze blowing out to center field from home base. That will be a walk, and they'll get the leadoff runner on. And Bizon actually becomes the first walk of the ball game. Will Cole had 2 strikeouts in that first inning. Now Sexton up. And obviously it's Ben Sexton's first look at the pitcher today. There goes the runner, and foul ball. Runner will have to go back. You can see Bizon just coming into your picture there. And all right, I got my breath back. Oh, it's awful getting old. I forgot my jacket. And of course, it's not like they're having softball practice, so I can't park right by the press box. I have to park out on St. Joseph Avenue. And I don't want to miss a play, so you could call it running. A lot of people wouldn't. They're going to be able to get just nobody, actually. Again, yeah, he caught the ball. He wasn't even near the bag. I can't believe you can question it, but he was off the bag, and that's, again, one of those things MSJ's got to take advantage of that. First and second, nobody down here. Oh, but I as much of a sprint as I do at my age, I sprinted out to the car and back, and Dad's going to have to dial 911 to get some oxygen. Carpintelli up, the left-handed hitter. And in the last JV game I did here, he had a RBI on a double. A couple of RBIs came in for him on that double. And that pitch a strike. Again, fastball, changeup, knuckleball. That's the menu of pitches for Will Cole. Torrin Granger is the catcher. Sam Preedy's the first. Ryan Kunzman's at second base. Your shortstop's Owen Ionati. He couldn't hold up on that one. That's strike 2. David Breen's at third. Brad Sawyer's on left. Ethan Burdick's in center. And Zach Weinfurt is in right. And MSJ with a great chance here. First and second, nobody down in the bottom of the second, and MSJ with a 2-1 lead. A nice pitch. And I have it at strike 3. And yeah, Garbitelli will go back to the bench as he got to become the third strikeout victim here. And the first out, top of the order, Sereno up. He had an infield base hit. Stole the base. There was an error on the throw. He ended up at third base and eventually scored the game's first run for MSJ. There's the pickoff play, and they're going to throw the ball away. And boy, it's going to be a close play now. Well, not really. He threw the ball to the fence, and Bizon's going to score. And I'm not really sure what was going on if the ball slipped out of his hand. See Sexton go up to third base, but Will Cole, the pitcher for MAU, not getting a lot of support right now. You know, he helped add to that problem right there by throwing wildly out into center field. The whole thing about that play was the base runner, Bizon, didn't immediately go from second to third on the ball that went out into center field. And then when he started to go, he had such a late start, I thought they were going to really get him at third base, but then the throw from Burdick went almost to the water treatment plant. Now he fouled off for a strike. So Mounties pick up a run. They lead 3-1 in the bottom of the second. Again, it's been MAU mistakes. A walk, a couple of errors there. There is one out, one on, and Sereno at the plate. Good hitter. That's why they got him in that leadoff spot. And I don't know if he got a chance at this. He thinks he does. Oh, trying to make the wide receiver football catch, the over-the-shoulder catch, and Creedy just didn't come up with it, and it'll be a long foul ball strike. So we'll just reset the stage. Got 2 runs in the first for MSJ, 1 so far here in the second. MAU picking up a run in the first. And the Mounties, the runner down at third base. And Sereno will get that off the fist, and the catcher looks like he's got a beat on it. Will make the catch. Second out, and same deal right there. Good news for MAU. They got the out, and the runner couldn't advance. And now Dominic Champagne is up, and he also had an infield single and scored and had a couple stolen bases. And again, this is big for both teams. You'll find, I think, in JV, it's foul ball strike. JV ball, like any baseball, actually, you just never have enough runs. In the last game I did here for MSJ, they were down quite a bit, and they rallied to make it a 14-11 ball game. So, I mean, you know, got to take advantage of the guy at third and less than 2 down. That's a swing and a miss all the way to the backstop for a strike. Then off the backstop so hard he came almost all the way out to the pitcher's mound, and Will Cole went out and picked it up himself. I always watch Sports Speed on television. I'm on episode 337 at the time of this game. I've been doing it since 1995, and oh, great pitch. That'll end the inning. He'll get him on a strikeout. Mounties do pick up an unearned run. They'll lead 3-1 going into the third. So Mount Anthony at the plate, back around at the top of the order to begin the top of the third. Ethan Burdick up. He was hit by a pitch his only time up. And there's a strike from Bizon. Bizon has not faced a lot of hitters. Like I said, just in the third inning, he's around to the top of the order, so he's about 3 over the limit right now. But the fact is also he hasn't thrown a lot of pitches. That's lifted. It's called for by Garbatelli. He'll come in and make the catch. Nice job by Tommy Garbatelli. Now, Garbatelli, like many of these students on the field, not only are they in athletics, but they're involved in other facets of extracurricular activity. He was in the theater department. He was in the play Jerry Finnegan's Sister, and did an excellent job as an actor, as a performer. And the pitch from Bizon broke too low and did catch a plate, but it was low for ball 1. You're looking at this shortstop, Owen Ionati. So Ionati, who singled, almost gets hit there. That came inside for a ball. And for the Mounties, we have Chris Reedy at first base. Eric Laddebush is at second. Nolan Rhodes is at short. And Dominic Champagne is at third, and that's inside again. And again, it forces the hitter, Ionati, to step back out of the way. And Steve Kalin, the catcher. I already mentioned Bizon's the pitcher. The outfield, right field's Tom Garbatelli. Mike Sereno's in center. And Big Ben Sexton out there in left field. And the pitch will be ball 4, and he'll have a walk issued, and he wants to stay away from that. And that's the second time on base for Ionati. Will Cole up. He popped up to the pitcher. Remember, I missed the catch because I was keen on the wrong fielder. But he flied out to the pitcher, who's having a little conference right now with Kalin. And MAU and MSJ both, when they've gotten base runners on, have wasted no time in sending them on the steals. I started talking about Sports Speed. It's a talk show that I've done since '95, and you can see it Mondays at 4:30, Tuesdays at 5:30, and Thursday nights at 9. And if you're not into sports, it's always not about sports. Sometimes I have theater, drama, singers, music. You know, we do hands-on woodworking. We'll have artists come on and do some painting. Nice stop by Kalin. Runner stays at first. We've had cook shows, kayak shows, hiking shows. I mean, you know, pretty much it's the everything show. So give it a try. Tune in on it. Long time getting in the box, but now Will Cole is set with Brad Sawyer on deck. 3-1 MSJ in the top of the third over MAU in JV baseball action. And weather permitting, I've got another MSJ boys varsity baseball game against Hartford, hopefully coming up on PEGTV. Like I said, a lot of it is if they play the game because of the weather. There's a throw to first, and that's always scary. Make sure it stays in play. Very conservative lead down there anyways by Ionati. Reedy is holding them on down there, Chris Reedy. And that'll be a foul ball. Got around and pulled that one. That breaking ball didn't do much, and he got around on it, got ahead of it, and pulled it foul. And then weather permitting on Memorial Day weekend, I plan on taping some of the Rutland County Soccer Jamboree Soccer Fest down at the Polo Fields, and he's back safe again. Now again, I know that time this game airs, It'll be too late to tell you should have gone down and seen it at the polo fields on the 26th and 27th of May. The runner going to pitch inside for a ball, and boy, almost got him. Nice throw, nice tag, but a little bit too much of a jump. Yeah, there's time called. The ball got away, but the runner called time, and I'm not sure if he jammed an ankle or the base came loose. Yeah, he seems to be okay. Now, what's going on here is there's one out, one on. Will Cole at the plate, but Bizon pitching from behind in the count, getting very preoccupied with the base runner. You know, you got to check him back like that, but you got to really worry about getting the ball over the plate and not start getting into a walk fest, issuing a lot of walks. And Kalen again with a good throw down to the shortstop, trying to put the tag on at second base. Sereno. And the wind caught it again. Yeah, the runner had to wait and make sure that it wasn't caught, and they're going to hold Ionati up at second. And Cole will go into that third base. I'm sorry, Ionati goes to third. Cole is at second base. And they represent the tying runs. And that's the second time today that they got the ball up in the air, and the wind took it and carried over a very good fielder's head, Sereno. So MAU with one down and Brad Sawyer up. He had an RBI, a ground out to the pitcher that scored the runner. Nice stop by Kalen. First base is open, but you don't want to walk him. I mean, you want to look and get him out, but there is a little bit of pressure off you factor here as far as knowing that there's a base open in case you. And he'll go ball two in the third. The Patriots out in the field in those blue jerseys with the red leggings and the red undershirts on. And he'll run the count to 3-0. And again, the sun is going to be brutal on the left fielder Sexton, the shortstop, and the third baseman. And there's a strike taken all the way, and that was a strike at the knee. Again, Sawyer, then the catcher Granger. Sawyer at the plate, Granger on deck. And the Mount Anthony Patriots, JV's going to have the chance to do some damage here. And they're going to load him up. Bases loaded with one down. 2 walks this inning, a double, and that's where we sit. First, second, and third, full of Patriots. And the catcher, Torrin Granger up. He grounded out to Laddebush at second base, who threw out the first. Well, it's bad news that the bases are loaded. Flip side, got to force out at any base, and it's much easier to turn a double play because there's a lot more options. There's a strike called. So the last thing you want is a walk or a hit batter here. You want to put the ball in play and let your defense try to do their job behind you as the pitcher. And that could be a pain in the butt to go home. Yeah, he's safe. There really was nothing Bizon could do with the ball. It was just hit at the right speed in the right place. And that wasn't a tag play. It was just a force play. And that keeps the bases loaded, 3-2 now, and Sam Creedy up. He doubled in the second. He got stranded at third, and he's got a chance to either tie the game up or give MAU the lead. We're at 3-2. And the big right-hander stepping against Bizon. And that's going to be hit to short, and he's going to come home. There's the force out. They're going to throw down to first, and did they call it? Safe. Yeah. So I almost pulled off the inning double play. Okay, so the bases. I'm just trying to catch up on my paperwork. Stay loaded. Yeah, 2 down now, and David Breen up. He popped up to the catcher, Kalen, in foul territory. As everybody just kind of gets reset, they dust off the plate. So 2 down, 3-2, and that was a nice throw from Rhodes to Kalen, the shortstop from MSJ. Able to throw the runner out at home base. Again, no tag needed. That's a force out. So MSJ trying to preserve a lead here, even if it's down to 1 run going into the bottom of the third. And Weinfurt is the on-deck hitter in case Breen here can extend this inning. And it'll be a 1-1 count. Yeah, don't forget also, base is still loaded, so a walk still a major issue here. He's already hit one batter in the ball game. That was Burdick, the leadoff hitter, with the very first pitch of the ball game. And that could be the inning. That's going to be, oh, booted by Rhodes. 1 run coming in. They're going to try to score, and the throw coming home, and he's going to be gone. Tie game at 3. They'll throw the runner out at home base, and we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Everything knotted up. It's kind of a wild top of the 3rd. The Patriots scoring 2 runs to tie it up. Nolan Rhodes up. He struck out back in the 1st, and he got underneath that one a mile. Will it fall in the right place? It does. It'll drop in for a base hit, as it was in front of the center fielder, and then the shortstop couldn't catch up to it, so Rhodes will be at first base. And for a big guy, Rhodes has real good speed. So the Mounties get the leadoff hitter on, and Chris Reedy up. He reached on a fielder's choice. His first and only time up. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. 3-3 the score. Patriots took the 1-0 lead. There's a thrower to first, and boy, he's just back. That's a good throw. It was the placement of the throw right down where the tag needed to take place on the diving Rhodes back, and almost got him. Yeah, it was 1-0 MAU, and then in the bottom of the 1st, MSJ picked up a couple. MAU went scoreless in the 2nd. Mounties picked up another run. Made it 3-1. That runner was going. That ball put into play through the hole, and since he was going, Rhodes is going to make it into 3rd base. A little hit and run action there, and runners will be at the corners as Chris Reedy. There he is, 25, with the base hit. Now the tendency is to send the runner on the steal attempt with a 1st and 3rd situation. Eric Ladebush up. He struck out as the pitcher Will Cole for MAU has 4 strikeouts. And there's a strike called. Runner stayed down at first. He is being held on by Sam Creedy, holding on Chris Reedy. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss rhyme here with all the names matching up. And that's going to be a hard chopper up the middle, base hit. That's going to bring in a run. Reedy will stop at 2nd. Rhodes scored behind him, and that's going to be an RBI single for the Mounties. Can they chop that one down? Got it to cooperate with them. So Rhodes scores, Reedy at 2nd, and Ladebush with an RBI single. Now bring up Steve Kalen, who grounded out to 2nd base, and Koonsman at 2nd made the play to 1st. That right there for a strike. So the Mounties take the lead back at 4-3 in the bottom of the 3rd. Like I said, the last JB game I did here, well, he went up. That was not a foul tip, so that was not a foul ball, so the runners can move up to 2nd and 3rd. There's Ladebush down at 2nd, and Reedy over at 3rd. And that was a swinging strike, no contact made. Kalen looking like Paul Bunyan chopping down trees on that one. Now the other thing, well, that's going to get away, but not far enough. The other thing you got to remember here, 2nd and 3rd, this is not, if the ball's hit to the infielders and they elect to come home, it's a tag play. Personally, the way that the runs keep scoring, each team's able to get runs, I play for the out myself, since there's nobody down now. You know, I'm the big inning, and that just didn't break. Long look in, and from the stretch, Cole comes to set. And the pitch now, just outside. So MSJ making good contact here in the 3rd inning, but also making the pitcher, Will Cole, throw some balls, make him come back into the strike zone with him. And it'll be a walk. That'll load the bases up now as Kalen goes down. And now Bizon up. He walked and scored for MSJ in the 2nd. And again, the makings of a very big inning here for MSJ, as they've gotten 1 run in to take a 4-3 lead. But they have bases loaded, nobody down for Bizon. And you know, not to jinx anybody, I have videotaped a triple play this year Otter Valley varsity turned to triple play against MSJ varsity. So, with the bases loaded, it's the options for getting the numbers go way up in order to turn a double play in a situation. But also think of the triple play. That's a big swing and a foul ball. Bizon liked that pitch and made an offering at it, and that'll be a foul ball strike. Again, you're watching Munger Vision on PEGTV, Public Access Sports. Ben Sexton on deck. And the game's gone back and forth. It's been very entertaining. And the JV guys, I always cover some JV games. They work hard, they practice, they're dedicated. The parents lug them all over the place to practices, do the laundry. Boy, he liked that. Again, that's not a foul ball. And I don't know where Bizon thought he was going to. Bases are loaded. There was nowhere to go. That's a strikeout. That's the first out of the inning. Comes on a fastball up and in. Now Sexton up. He reached on a fielder's choice. Now a drop third strike. If nobody was occupying first base, he could have gone down. I tell you what, it's been effective here for Cole since he's gotten into trouble in this inning. He got away from the junk stuff, the knuckleball and the changeup, and he's just throwing some heat. And he's putting it up and inside, trying to tie up the hitters, and it's working. And that's going to be down to first base. They're going to, indecision, and he's going to be safe. Yeah, he started to go to first base to step on the bag to get the out, and then he decided to come home. And what happens there is now you have just still the one out. The run scored because the runner was safe, and you didn't record an out. And this is Garbatelli, I do believe. Yes, Tom Garbatelli up. And it's going to be off, and here comes the runner. He's coming home, and he's going to be safe. Ladbush will slide in with a run on a wild pitch. So 3 runs make it 6-3 MSJ. Runners at second and third now. And Garbatelli with Serino on deck. Garbatelli at the plate, Serino the on-deck hitter. Not only that, you got to remember, bases loaded. The runners were off on contact because they have to go on contact. They can't have the luxury of watching where the ball goes or not having to run if they don't feel like it. There's a swinging strike. So the odds of getting the runner out at home base after you fielded the ball, taking 2 steps toward first, and then decide, okay, I'm going to throw home now, the odds of getting them out are pretty slim. So Garbatelli will swing through that pitch for strike 2. And again, that was just a good old-fashioned fastball right there from Cole. He's worked himself into the bottom of the third. And again, he's thrown some outs that weren't made by his fielders. And, it's a learning process, a beautiful pitch. And that should be strike 3. Got him looking for the second out. Second strikeout of the inning, 6th of the ball game. And now top of the order, Mike Serino up. He has singled and scored and then popped up to the catcher who made a nice grab of it. Torrin Granger, the catcher for MAU. And again, getting a little cloudy now, which the fielders on that left side of the ball field will like that better. That's inside. First base is open, even though you want to walk Serino or hit him. But MSJ with 3 runs here so far in the third take the 6-3 lead over MAU in JV baseball action. They've got that pickoff play on, and they got him. That's the third out as they pick off Sexton. But MSJ will plate 3. 6-3 going into the fourth, the Mounties. So Lee John Bizon, the pitcher, going into his 4th inning of the work, starts off with a strike. Now, I know they go by pitch count at the varsity level, and I can't believe they wouldn't go by pitch count here at the JV level, but Bizon should be in good shape as far as number of pitches he's thrown. It's going to be a ball 1-1 to count. He's looking at the number 8 hitter, Zach Weinfurt. Weinfurt has grounded out. It's a little dinger in the dirt, and the catcher threw him out at first base. And that's going to be down to third, picked up. Champagne, long throw, and Reedy will just go tag the bag. Kind of unconventional, but he'll get the out. Instead of staying on the bag with the stretch, he met the ball and cut it off, and it'll be a 5-3 ground out. So they get the leadoff hitter out here, and they'll bring up Ryan Koonsman. He struck out in the second. That was his only time up, and there has only been the 1 strikeout so far by Bizon in the ball game. Not that you still won't score runs this inning, but you drastically help your team by getting that leadoff batter out. Oh, great pitch. Great pitch. See, he actually snapped through on the ball. And that was nasty looking stuff. You'll get a swinging strike on that. And he'll quickly go up 0-2. Now, Bizon today, as opposed to the last game I did, has had a much more comfortable rhythm out there pitching. Oh, just 3 nasty benders. And he'll get his second strikeout, and both times it's been Kunzman. Top of the order, Ethan Burdick up. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the first, and then he flied out to Garbatelli in right field in the third. And the sun has poked its head back out here at St. Peter's Field, and that's okay with me because it got cool. And the umpires, I'm not sure what they keep going over there for. I'm not really sure what they're doing. I know Steve Manny likes to get on television, and of course I might pick it on him because I know him, but I don't think he's giving him a warning like sportsman-like. I don't know. Very animated, whatever the meeting's about. See him with his hands. All I need to do is put some puppets on him. But it's a break in the action, and I'll just tell you, it's 6-3 MSJ's JV squad over MAU's JV squad. And I got to tell you, it's something to do with a hat, or he's imitating Charlie Chaplin, because he keeps taking his hat off his head. I think this is a little more of a stern morning than I first thought what was going on over there. I thought there was somebody getting in the playing area or something on deck or whatever, but I think it was something a little more kick butt down there than that. In any case, the Suns come back out. We'll have a hitter coming to the plate here in a second. And again, so top of the order, Ethan Burdick, followed by Owen Ionati. 2 down, nobody on, and Bizon looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. Scheduled for 7 from the top of the 4th in the Mounties JV squad. Settling in nicely here today. I'll tell you what, he likes that number 2 today. He's got that curveball working, and he's got the hitters off balance waving at it. And he came back fastball that time, so he's mixing his pitches up nicely. Bizon 0-2 the count. Looking for the strikeout to end the 4th. And yeah, that one kind of missed. That one got away from him. And he's already hit Burdick once. And that eventually became a run. And here we go. And that's going to be a high, hard chopper down to short. Picked up by Rhodes. He'll set his feet, throw, and that's it. A 1-2-3 inning by the Mounties. They'll come up in the bottom of the 4th, leading 6-3 in JV baseball action. And Will Cole looking back at Mike Serino. Remember, Serino was at the plate. There's a bunt. It's going to come out a little bit too hard. It's going to come back to the pitcher Cole. He'll throw to first, and he'll get Serino out. Good idea. He just had too much juice behind the bunt, and it'll become the first out of the inning. But remember, Serino was on base when they picked off Sexton at second base. Now they'll bring up Champagne now. And Champagne stepping in against Cole, and he'll wind up. And Cole really hasn't pitched bad. Like I said, he's had a few breakdowns behind him from his teammates. And, you know, he has walked a batter or two, but other than that, he really has done a nice job here of keeping his team in the game. They're only a 3-run deficit at 6-3 MSJ. That's going to be fouled straight down for a strike. Nolan Rhodes is on deck. Now, Champagne today's had an infield single, scored a run, and struck out. In the battery remains Will Cole and Torrin Granger for MAU. Cole, number 17, was back to you in the windup, and it's going to be foul ball down the third baseline. And defensively, they still have Sam Creedy at first. Ryan Kunzman is at second. Owen Ionati is at short. David Breen's at third. And they do have a change, and I missed it. That's at third. He elects to go around the forehand side and going to be safe. He threw from deep in the corner. Ball will go out of play, and this is going to be a dead ball, and they'll award the base to Champagne, and he'll be at second base with just 1 out. So it's going to go as an infield single, then the error. But Nolan Rhodes coming up. He struck out and singled, and he scored a run also. And like I said, especially in any level of baseball, but especially watching JV ball this year, you never score enough runs. The Mounties were down, well, it's irrelevant time-wise, but earlier in the season by 11 runs, or by 14 runs, and came back to win the ball game here on their home field. I wanted to say against Essex, but I'm not sure. That was the same week I did the AAU Thunderbirds Bougiani basketball tournament. And the runner didn't go anywhere in that, and Granger kind of really tracked the ball down. Didn't get that far away from the catcher. So the Mounties looking to score here, and that would be 4 innings in a row that they would have scored at least 1 run. And that's fouled off. That was a good pitch. Good job. 2 strikes, fouling the ball off by Rhodes. Reedy on deck to be followed by Ladebush. There is 1 out, but a runner down at second base with good speed, and Dominic Champagne. Yeah, you see the long look in from Will Cole. And gets the call, gets the strike. And I must have been mistaken. That's the second strike. Again, we've got I have some more MSJ boys varsity baseball action scheduled tape, weather permitting. And that's just going to be the knuckleball that got away from the catcher. And you see Champagne will scamper down to third base. Now, the 1 out, that's big. Third base 1 down is a lot different than second base 1 down. Pass ball, wild pitch, deep enough fly ball. I mean, you can get that run home, obviously, in many more ways, easier now. Oh, great pitch. Oh, my goodness gracious. And Will Cole, the pitcher, kind of put his arms up in frustration on where that pitch was. So first and third, and I can't believe they will not be sending Rhodes down on a steal attempt. Chris Reedy up, and Rhodes being held on by Creedy over there. And there he goes. Pitch called a strike, and they're going to concede the base. Said didn't throw down. So second and third. Of course, my feelings, and I'm not criticizing any coach because my feelings are completely irrelevant. Oh, foul tip, strike, caught. It was irrelevant that it was caught on a foul tip because it's not the third strike, but it's still impressive. I thought I'd say, especially at a JV level, it's all instructional, all learning. And yes, winning's great, believe me. Oh, and that's going to get away, and they're going to send the runner home, and here he comes, and Champagne going to be safe. And that ball's going to roll out of play and allow another run to come in. So MAU mistakes lead to a couple more MSJ runs. Now I'm going to say, now if that runner hadn't moved up from first to second, they wouldn't have been able to score the runner from second. I was going to say, I don't believe in giving up bases uncontested on steals. You've got a catcher. You're trying to teach him how to catch and let him get used to the position and practice at it. Throw down. What's the worst thing can happen? You get the guy out, you get an out, or the guy, you throw down and the guy releases from third and comes home. But I see way too much from all teams at all levels, in softball also, just say, go ahead and take second base. And again, it's irrelevant what I think. Oh, foul tip caught this time, is it? Nope. He was looking in his glove. I thought he had it. But it came out, and it'll keep him alive now. Chris Reedy's reached on a fielder's choice and singled and scored for MSJ. So they pick up a couple more runs so far. Ooh, and he got all the way to that one. Now, see, that went right off the backstop and came. See how fast it came back to the catcher? That's irrelevant because there's nobody on base right now. But that's something when you do have a base runner, you got to remember that newer backstop that replaced the old one's about 15, 20 feet closer to home base and made of concrete, so the ball comes right off the hard. And he got a piece of that one, and that's going to roll out to left field, and Reedy's going to have his second base hit of the ball game, the big guy. Whoops, got to find a pitcher. There we go. So a 1-out single for Reedy, who brings up Ladebush, who was struck out, singled. He's got an RBI, and he scored a run. So Eric Ladebush being a productive guy today for MSJ. Like say hi to his family. Big supporters of all aspects of MSJ's community. And that's a swinging strike. Will Cole trying to get through the fourth inning here. It goes 8-3 MSJ, and that's going to allow the runner. See what happened there is that went off the catcher's shin guard. Still a wild pitch, and Reedy will take the turn, and he'll hang out at second base now with one down. Cole's body language, not that he's tired more than he's frustrated, but he's got to kind of suck it up here and get through the inning. Because you can still get out of this inning with just those 2 runs scored. That's going to be through the hole at first and second. They're going to send Reedy home, and he's going to come in with the 3rd run of the inning, and that's going to be thrown over the catcher's head, and that'll send Laddebush, who's got 2 RBIs now, down to second base. And still only the 1 out. So Laddebush has accounted for 3 runs today. He scored a run and driven into, and now Steve Kalin up. He's grounded out to second and walked. And this could, see the manager coming out, the coach coming out. This could be it for Cole. They're going to have a little conference and talk it over. And right now at the score at the midway point here in the 4th inning, it's 9-3 MSJ. So, I mean, it's still very doable to come back. Well, we'll see what they think when we come back up from the fade. So MAU does make the pitching change. They bring the first baseman, Sam Creedy, over to pitch, and they take the pitcher, Will Cole, and place him over at first base. That pitch will be outside the ball. Laddebush is down at second base for MSJ. 3 runs in, 9-3 MSJ's JV squad with the lead. There is just 1 down, and Steve Kalin at the plate for the Mounties. 6 strikeouts in the ball game. And that's going to be able to play fall ball strike. Runner was going on the pitch. He'll bring Laddebush back to second. 6 strikeouts for Will Cole, the starting pitcher for MAU. And again, he did give up hits, a couple walks. But a lot of times it wasn't so much as an error as much as just a misjudgment in where to go with the ball by his fielders that really didn't help him out. And you can see Mr. Maney again. Right, I think he does want to call a balk. And I think he's showing the pitcher come to set, be on the rubber. And that's going to be a base hit, and that should score a run. That's a great hit. Kalen's going to send Laddebush home, and the throw coming all the way through. He's going to be safe. Went off from Granger's hands, and Kalen, with all that blazing speed, is going to skate into third base. Nice job by Steve. He's having a big game today. Remember, he's made some nice plays behind the plate, but he's going to have an RBI and end up at third base. And John Bizon up. He has walked and scored and struck out. Still the 1 down, and it goes 10-3 now. MSJ up by 7 runs. But as fast as you get the runs, you can give them away just as quick. So we're in the bottom of the 4th in the Mounties JV squad. Enjoying a little home cooking today on their home field. Beautiful St. Peter's field. Not only can you watch the varsity and JV squads from MSJ play on this gorgeous field, the best in Vermont in my opinion, but you can also see the American Legion Post 31 games right here on St. Peter's field. No, that one just missed. Again, American Legion Post 31 starts off their season with a non-league contest June 19th, 5:30 start time right here against Granville Post 323. Should be a good one. And that's going to be a base hit and another RBI, and that'll drive in the run. See Kalen come in, and over at first base is Bizon. So he'll have a hit and an RBI that time to the plate. And that'll make it 11-3 MSJ. And I'll tell you what, they are just in sync with the bats today. Now Ben Sexton up. He's reached on a fielder's choice twice today. So Sexton looking to add to the hit parade here for the Mounties. The runner off, pitch swung on and missed, got away from the catcher, and Bizon will cruise into second base. A lot of times on that too, the catchers gets screened by the, blinded by the bat. Garbatelli on deck after Sexton. From the set, the pitch, and in the dirt to the backstop, and this will let Bizon go down to third base. So Creedy coming on in relief of Cole. Having a little problem right now, zeroing in on his catcher's glove. And he went back to the high heater and got him to go help him go up the ladder and chase it. But he went back to the full windup opposed to the stretch. And I know I've said this through many games, but a lot of pitchers have no preference to the stretch or the windup. Some pitchers prefer the stretch. Some pitchers pitch better from the windup. Oh, and he got him. That was a nasty looking pitch right there. Had him out on that front foot, and that'll be strikeout, and that'll be the second out of the inning. First strikeout for Creedy. Couldn't come at a better time. Garbitelli up. He has struck out in the second, struck out in the third. And the umps. A lot of meetings today. The umpire's having another meeting out there. I think they're talking about. They're saying, I wonder when this game will be on Channel 15 because I like to watch it. Well, here, I can answer that for them. They don't have to have a meeting. They can go to the website, www.PEGTV.com, and look at the weekly schedule and figure out when the game's going to be on. There's always Saturday week, the games of the week every Saturday starting at 4 p.m. Now, I don't know the order. That's going to be a wild pitch. The runner coming home. Bizon will score. And again, MAU mistakes helping open the door up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs here by MSJ. I have it as 12-3 MSJ. In the bottom of the fourth, Garbitelli at the plate now. The base is clean, 2 down. The other thing too is you can look in the Rutland Herald and get the Channel 15, Channel 20, and Channel 21 listings. But this games of the week, it's whatever games I or somebody else brings them in for the week. And they just get loaded right up onto the server, and Tom Leopold, the program director at 15, just starts them at 4 o'clock and plays them until 9, 10, 11, 12, whenever he runs out. And then they also show throughout the week at prime time and off prime time scheduling. But no, I think the umps were saying, I wonder when this game's going to be on Channel 15. Just go to the website, PEGTV.com, take a look. Well, strike called at the knee. That's a tough pitch on the lefty, and Garbitelli will step out and think about that one. 6 runs have blown this one open here in the fourth by MSJ. They came in with a 6-3 lead, and that's now 12-3. Mounties' lead has expanded. And it'll be ball in the dirt. And, it also became ball 4. I lost track of the count. So they'll bat around as the leadoff hitter, top of the order. Sereno will come up. He tried to bunt to get on base this inning and got thrown out, but he's back up for the second time here. And Garbitelli, pretty fast guy down at first base. He will be held on by the first baseman, Will Cole, and Sam Creedy trying to find that elusive third out to get out of this long fourth inning. 12-3. Mounties JV squad with the lead, and that's a strike on a good pitch. Low and at the knee. And the sun came back out. We got a little clouds for a while there, and the sun came back out. It's very pleasant late afternoon now. And that's going to allow the runner to move up as it, again, was in the dirt. Tough for the catcher to handle. It'll be a wild pitch. One of many, many wild pitches today allowed by MAU pitchers. And again, I'll be following the Mill River girls softball team through their playoff run as we're nearing the end of the softball season. And if it doesn't conflict, if they don't play the same days as MSJ or Honor Valley, then I'll make sure to try to get as much of the local playoff action involving MSJ, Honor Valley, and Mill River taped for you, as well as if MSJ boys varsity baseball gets a home playoff game. There's a strike called. So Sereno will step back in the box after he had a little chance to think about that last pitch. He went fishing, he got it. They're going to throw down, and that'll be the inning. The Mounties, though, with 6 runs, lead 12-3 going into the 5th. But defensive change for MSJ. Matt Messier has gotten to play right field for the Mounties. He has replaced Tom Garbitelli, and Owen Iannotti is up for MAU. He has singled in the first, walked in the third, and scored a run. And right now they're having a little conference between the hitter and the coach. Not sure about what, because I saw the jersey number. It is Ionoti, and oh, you know, you could have been reporting the changes. That's what it was. I'm sorry. They were reporting the defensive change for the Mounties to the MAU bookkeeper. And as you can see, the bookkeeper for MSJ sneaking in behind home base, getting set to settle in. And we're in the fifth. Top of the fifth, Mounties up 12-3 over MAU in JV action on Munger Vision on public access television. So they're set. They're ready. Gonna be a late supper tonight, I can tell you that. That's put into play. It's going to be backhanded by Bizon. He's going to set his feet, make the throw, and got him. Tagged by Reedy on the runner going by, and Ionoti's out. On a 1-3 ground out that had a little flair to it. Not your standard old 1-3 ground out. And now Will Cole comes up. He popped up to the pitcher, and then he doubled. Bizon getting some good run support today and doing a nice job. Like I said, at pitch count, we're in the fifth. A lot can happen here in this inning, but he has not really had a blown out proportion pitch count. If he stays on average what he's thrown per inning, he could easily go the 7 innings today. Great pitch. One thing compared to the other game I did here for the JV squad is he's really cut down on the number of walks he has issued today. That's the third. Nice job by Champagne with the scoop and the throw and the tag. They'll work on the footwork over there with Chris Reedy. He's got to get the footwork down with first baseman. He's a big target. That helps out. But Champagne with a nice grab and then the throw. And it's 2 up, 2 down. And that goes back to now 5 retired in a row by Bizon. Brad Sawyer up. He's had an RBI today. And he's also walked and scored a run. And he'll duck out of the way of that one. You make the call. That's ball 1. Yeah, as the softball and baseball season's winding down. Getting ready for American Legion Post 31 action. And like I said, if the weather permits, I can go down to the polo fields and videotape some of the youth soccer games, U10, U12, U14 games at the Rutland County Soccer Club Jamboree Bash, Memorial Day Soccer Jamboree Bash. That'll be outside too far. That'll be a ball from Bizon. Kalen's still your catcher out there. And that only switch was that I can see out there was Messier going into right field. And that's going to be on the line. And, oh, nice attempt by Sexton, who knocked the ball down. Oh, boy, I tell you, I think he was safe, but it was a great, efficient job of linking up the throws on the relay attempts to get him. So that'll go as a double to Sawyer, and I'll bring up Torrin Granger up now. He's grounded out to second base for Ladebush, threw him out. And then he's had an RBI single. And the other thing Sexton was battling out there, the sun's come back out, and it's 6 o'clock now in the evening, and that sun is right in his eyes. It's right on the horizon, right in his eyes. And he did a great job of knocking the ball down, not letting him pass. If the ball gets past him, that guy might score. So the Patriots looking to start a comeback right here. And that's going to be out of play. Yes, it will be out of play. Nope, no lead is safe, and comeback's got to start somewhere. Doesn't mean you have to score 9 runs this inning, but you got to score 1, 2, 3, whatever. Granger on it, the plate, Creedy on deck, and MAU with 2 down. And Bizon will chase down that ball. Again, you know, if the weather holds out and they play later in the week, the next varsity game I will have for you will be MSJ Hartford. And MSJ trying to avenge a 9-2 loss to Hartford up in Hartford. That's over the top of the pitch here. He'll come down to Ladebush. He'll set, and that's going to be the inning. They'll strand 1 runner. It'll stay 12-3 the Mounties going into the bottom of the 5th. Shows bunt, ducks down, gets out of the way for ball 1. Now some changes defensively for MAU. They brought Sam Webster in to play first base now. Perry Snyder's gone to second base. Ionoti stays at short. Colin Shepley is new at third base. Sawyer, Burdick, and foul ball. Sawyer, Burdick, and Pettibone. Cody Pettibone has gone into play right field. And that is all the changes that I have for the Patriots right now. So again, they try to work everybody in the lineup, especially at the JV level. Nothing keeps the players' enthusiasm up knowing he's going to get into a ball game to play after practicing all week and making the bus trips and all that stuff. And that's going to be another ball as the Mounties with a big 6-run fourth inning. They've scored at least 1 run every inning. They had 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 3 in the third, 6 in the fourth. We're in the bottom of the fifth, 12-3 MSJ. Defensively, MSJ's held MAU scoreless in the second, the fourth, and the fifth. Shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and didn't offer at the pitch. It came in high, and Champagne now will walk away and think about the next pitch as he looks down to his third base coach. He'll flash some signs to him. Talking about comebacks by MAU, you can't just think offensively about that. At some point, you've got to hold MSJ into a scoreless inning, and Champagne will be on via the walk. He's had 2 singles and he's walked, and he's also has famished a strikeout in there. Nolan Rhodes up now, the shortstop, has struck out, singled and walked, scored a couple runs. And we'll see what they want to do with Champagne as far as running the bases. Now, I believe this time, see the umpire? Yeah, there's a piece of equipment. A bat was actually in the playing area, not out of play. As we are set and good to go. Rhodes waits the pitch, and it's on the way from the right-handed pitcher. Going to be a strike called. So he'll be up in the count. No balls, 1 strike. And again, that is Sam Credion in relief of Will Cole for MAU. See him check the runner back to first with a little glance over the shoulder. Now he'll actually throw to first. And nice job of going up and making sure the ball stays in the play by the first baseman, Sam Webster, who's in seeing his first inning of action defensively out there for the Patriots. I'm not sure, again, what exactly the umpire's signaling there. But everybody seems to be okay now. So from the stretch, Creedy, strike called, runner going, and again he'll go down with no throw, and Champagne will be at second base with nobody down. One of many stolen bases today by the Mounties. Runner in scoring position for Rhodes, Reedy on deck, and Creedy on the mound. We're in the bottom of the fifth, scheduled for 7, and boy, that could be trouble. That's a long run and a nice catch, and the runner will get back to second base. And that was Ethan Burdick, who covered a lot of turf out there in center field to chase down that fly ball. So it'll ring up the first out of the inning, that fly out to center field. And Chris Reedy's reached on a fielder's choice, singled twice, scored a couple runs. And actually he's been zeroed in here on the MAU pitching the last couple times up with some sharp hit singles. And that's going to be an easy one to call. As you can see, Champagne will easily go to third base as that one just elevated and never had a chance for the catcher, Granger, to make an attempt at the ball. And after Reedy, Landebush, the doo-wop hitter here on deck for MSJ. Been a good team effort by the Mounties here so far today. Still got some work to do, though. We're only in the bottom of the fifth. That should get the run home. Champagne going in, run number 13 with the tag up, 13-3. And again, been a lot of that help like that. Wild pitch, pass, balls, and errors. So 13-3, the first double-digit lead of the game for MSJ. Now, that does, I believe they're talking mercy rule here, because they're in the bottom of the fifth. It's a 10-run lead, and a lot of times the coaches get together before the game and decide, well, we never, you don't get to play that long in Vermont, and we made the trip up. We're just going to, let's just play the 7 innings. Now that's all conjecture. I'm not sure what they were even talking about, But we're in the bottom of the fifth, 13-3 MSJ. And I don't believe he held up. Yeah, they bring him up for a strike right there. Too much of a tempting pitch, and he couldn't hold up on it. So Reedy, looking for his third hit of the day, will lay off from that one. That's going to be off the backstop and comes right back up to the catcher. Of course, there's nobody on base now. That runner that got on, Champagne, got on this inning to start everything off with a walk. Eventually came around on a couple wild pitches to score. There is the one out on the fly ball to center field. DeBertic made the catch for MAU, and that's going to be in the dirt, and that will become ball 4. And that'll put a runner on first base with the one out. Laddebush today struck out in the first. He singled, had just 2 RBIs, and has also scored 2 runs. And I think we might see a pitching change here for the Patriots as their head coach will stroll out to the mound, and we'll see what happens after the fade. Third pitcher today used by MAU is Colin Shepley. Shepley will be a little bit high and tight for ball 1. Chris Reedy down at first base for MSJ. There is the 1 down, 1 run in, 13-3 the Mounties. And this is Laddebush, Eric Laddebush at the plate. And that again came inside too far. 2 balls, no strikes. As JV baseball action today featured on Munger Vision on PEGTV. And that'll be high for a 3-0 count. Now Shepley started this inning off, seeing his first action of the game at all today at third base. And now he's been slid over to the mound, and tough to come in like that. Probably going to take him a couple of hitters to find a strike zone like that right there. And that'll be strike 1. Taking all the way was Laddebush. 3 balls, 1 strike. The out came on the second hitter, Rhodes. He flied out to center field. And that will make it a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So he kind of went golfing after that pitch. This inning started off with Champagne getting walked, stealing a base, and then a couple wild pitches. He came in to score the 13th run of the ball game for the Mounties. And that'll be ball 4. And that'll move the runners down to second, first and second now with 1 out. Steve Kalen up. Had an RBI single his last time up and eventually came around to score a run. He's been playing the catcher's position today, doing a very good job behind the plate. And he'll step in there with a chance to move the runners along. Shepley from the stretch. Nope, stayed high. During his warm-ups, which you didn't get to see because I faded down and I didn't want to conserve tape. He missed high like that with all his pitches. He uses A, the release point, and B, the follow-through. He's throwing with a lot of elbow and arm out there too. Not really throwing, or wrist, I mean elbow and wrist. Not really throwing with his arm and his legs, getting the power out of his lower part of his body when he's pitching. Almost like he's throwing a dart. Now, unless he's a knuckleballer, which I can't tell from behind this far away, 400 feet from behind, that would explain the motion. But you can't field a walk, and that's what he's behind in the count. That's put into play and going to be knocked down, and yep, smart play. Knocked it down and ate the ball, and that stopped any further damage from occurring. Bases juiced for MSJ with the 1 out. And I'll bring up John Bizon, the pitcher. He's walked, struck out, and singled. He scored 2 runs. And he's got the table set for a big hit here. And also, don't forget the force out at any base. Also, the combination ways to come up with a double play have increased. So, lots of pros and cons here about the bases loaded, unless you walk the runner, the batter, I mean. And Bizon wisely laying out that pitch for ball 1. And that's right off the end of the bat, falls, strike 1. That'll even things up at 1 ball, 1 strike. St. Peter's Field is a place to be all summer long for American Legion baseball action. Post 31. Going to put together another solid team, and I'm sure they'll have some exciting baseball action for you to watch, either in person or on PEGTV. Nowhere to put him out there on a walk. He's got the Mounties at every base. And that's popped up, and I think that's playable. The catcher agrees with me, and oh boy, he's a little slow getting out of the box to get on top of that one, but that'll drop in for just a strike foul ball, and Bizon picks up the bat, so he can take advantage of another opportunity here. And everybody will just go back and tag up with the bases. And again, Shepley being very deliberate between pitches. And that's going to drive, a drive, and that's going to roll to the fence. You can see one run in already, a second run coming in. They're going to wave in a third run. This will be Kalen, and the throw's going to be coming to third base. They got Bizon out, but he drove in 3 runs. Yep. Tell you what, he stroked that ball. That was hit to the gap, a mile, the left center field gap, and he cleaned the bases off. He will be tagged out at third base on an excellent throw. I'm just trying to get the numbers right now. I think they went 7-6-5 on the out. 3 RBIs though. 2 down now, and that makes it 16-3 MSJ, and that'll bring up Ben Sexton. And that'll be a strike from Shepley. So Bizon officially had a double on the play, and then was thrown out. That went from the left fielder, shortstop to third base. And that's going to be a base hit. And that was a good stroke right there by the big guy. So Sexton will have his first hit of the game. And this will come with 2 down. 16-3 the Mounties though against Bennington, against MAU. As we're in the 5th, scheduled for 7, and this should be Messier up. There goes the runner, and again they'll just concede the base, and Sexton will be down there. This is Messier's first time up today, as he was just inserted in the lineup defensively the last inning. He's batting in the spot of Garbatelli, and he'll lay out that pitch right there for a ball. He's also the 8th man to come to the plate, top of the order. Mike Serino on deck for MSJ. 2 outs, and the Patriots looking for a third out here. And running on the pitch was Sexton, and he will take a big turn, and he will head back to the bag at third. I'll tell you, both teams, when they've had people on base, have been very aggressive as far as trying to move those runners up, and I like that. I mean, that's part of the game that really helps you win ball games, is your running aspect of your game. So Sexton at third with 2 down, and Messier at the plate. He stepped into that one, and I believe he's going to have an RBI. He will. He'll have an RBI single. You can see Sexton's cross the plate, and there's Messier, Matt Messier over there. I'd like to say hi to his mom, Melissa. She's a big supporter of Munger Vision. And that now becomes a 5-run inning so far for MSJ. And I believe that's 17-3 now. I'll have to go back and do some math. That will get away from the catcher, and you can see the runner just heading on down. That's Messier will be up at second base. And this is the 9th batter. Serino will come to the plate. Yeah, 17-3. I was just trying to use all my fingers and toes, and they're going to have the tag play on the error on the runner, and that's going to be the inning by MSJ, up 17-3. New pitcher in the ball game is Mike Serino. He's gone in to replace Bizon, who did an outstanding job today pitching for the MSJ JV squad. And we'll reset the defense. Ben Sexton's in left field. Eric Laddebush has moved out to center field. Matt Messier is your right fielder. Chris Reedy remains at first base. Dominic Champagne has gone to second. Nolan Rhodes is at short. And John Bizon has gone to third base. Steve Kalen behind the dish. And I've already mentioned Serino is on the mound to start the 6th inning. There'll be a 1-1 count to the hitters Sam Creedy, David Breen, and Zach Weinfurt due up for Bennington for MAU. They scored 1 in the first and 2 in the third, and that was it. They're down 17-3 to the Mounties. Serino got the plate behind. A good eye out there by Creedy, and that'll make it a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Creedy today has doubled and reached on a fielder's choice. So he's been on base twice today, and he'll be outside, and he's going to have the count in his favor at 3-1. See if he's green-lit here or if he's going to be taking all the way. And he will take ball 4, as that was high. So the leadoff hitter in the 6th inning for MAU will be on base. And they need a bunch of runs here. They got 2 innings to get to work. As now from the stretch, Sereno will get the call. He'll tickle the outside corner for strike 1. Creedy is being held on down at first base by MSJ's Chris Reedy. And again, I'm not really sure, but the umpire's been emphatic on getting this correct. It's also a teaching tool. He's trying to make sure that the players understand the correct way to do what they got to do. And we'll go back. Now we'll get set for the pitch from Sereno. And that's going to be hit right out to Sereno. He will try to get the double play. There's one. Rhodes, the first, safe. They will get the out. They'll take the lead runner out, and that's a good play. Sereno had his head in the ball game and got it down to Rhodes at short. So it's going to be a 1-6 force out, and that'll be a fielder's choice for Breen. And that'll bring up, well, I have Zach Weinfurt, but I think we're going to have a different hitter. Somebody's going to take his spot. I just can't see the jersey number. But there's one down, one on for MAU in the 6th. Oh, man. Did Sereno fool the hitter on that? I'm ducking out of the way, and pitch called a strike. Did again about a 90-degree bend on that. And, ooh, a little high and outside. They'll make it a 1-1 count. And again, if the weather allows him to play, I will be here videotaping the Hartford MSJ boys varsity baseball game. That will be shown on PEGTV at a later date. Been a crazy spring this year for getting the weather and the games in and stuff like that. And Sereno will miss outside, and he's been around the plate, but he has either been high or he's been outside. Trying to find that consistency, and he'll float that one in for a ball, and that'll be his second walk of the inning. So with one down, there'll be 2 runners on for Perry Snyder. Again, MAU far from out of the ball game. Bison's fast, but he can't quite get to that one. And Bison was the starting pitcher, went 5 full innings and did a heck of a job out there. Had good control today, really limited his walks. His defense was solid behind him when the ball was put in play. Getting a couple 1, 2, 3 innings. That'll be a foul ball for a strike. And boy, in case you didn't see it, both Otter Valley and Mill River softball contests, the one in Otter Valley and the one at Mill River, I taped them both, were a dandy of ball games. I really urge you to get out and support those programs. They're big time contenders this year. That would be a ball. Yeah, Otter Valley winning at Mill River 1-0, and Mill River doing the same thing at Otter Valley 1-0. 2 of the best pitchers in the state. Jessica McDonald for Mill River, and then Taryn Foster for Otter Valley, and they'll get the out. That's a smart play. They got the out. As Rhodes threw to second base, and they'll get the trail runner on the play out. So that goes Rhodes to Champagne. 2 down now. Top of the order, Burdick up. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's flying out and grounded out. So Sereno trying to not allow a run here in his first inning of work on the mound. From the stretch, will let her fly. Nice pitch, and again, they didn't really concede it as much as nobody realized they were running on the play. There'll be a stolen base as it went from the pitcher who turned around and fired it to second base. With a 17-3 lead, you definitely should be throwing down on a steal attempt. I mean, there are times that I would not throw down. If it was going to be the game-winning run to come in from third base, if you're throwing to second, obviously I wouldn't. That slapped over to Rhodes. He's going to be deep in the hole at short, sets himself, throws, and gets it. And Sereno and the Mounties will come up in the bottom of the sixth, leading 17-3. It's the ball game. I'm sorry. It's going to be 17-3 after 6 innings of play. MSJ will win it. Great team effort by the Mounties all the way around. Like I said, with the bats, the good decision making, good pitching, good defense. So a bright spot. They defeat MAU 17-3, and a good effort by MAU. They had some good moments out there, things to build on. Hope you've enjoyed this JV baseball action on Munger Vision on PEGTV. Always get out there, support your student athletes, and always support Munger Vision.